Okay, somewhere on your screen, you should have the subatomic particles are on your paper. You can fill those in, or you can just listen along as we go through this. So, what do we need to know? Well, first of all, the atom is composed of a couple of parts, right? The nucleus, which is made up of protons, which have a positive charge, and neutrons, which have no charge, all right, or neutral. Neutrons, neutral. So one of the things that you can see right here is that it kind of has this P plus and this N with this O with it. So those positives and those zeros also represent protons and neutrons. This is inside the nucleus. They are positively charged and neutrally charged. On the outside of the nucleus, we have electrons, and electrons have negative charge. So a lot of times you'll see them written with this E with this negative sign that represents an electron that is negatively charged. Now, for an atom, when we're talking about its mass, most of the atomic mass is coming from the number of protons and neutrons inside the nucleus. So, where the atom gets most of its weight from, or its mass, is from the nucleus comprised of protons and neutrons. The number of protons inside the nucleus is equal to the atomic number. This atomic number is really important because every single element has a different atomic number, meaning that every element has a different number of protons inside the nucleus. So protons are really important because they are the defining characteristic of what makes that atom that element. So from one element to another, it's the number of protons that differ from each other. In a neutral atom, meaning that it has no charge, the number of protons has to be equal to the number of electrons. So if we have 5 protons, there must also be 5 electrons because 5 positives and 5 negatives equals 0. So in a neutral atom, meaning every element that you see on the periodic table has the same number of protons as it does electrons to start out with. These protons and neutrons, which we'll take a look at, are actually made up of tiny little subparticles called quarks. Now, again, as you get into high school, you will not need, you will learn more about them, but for this class, we're talking about our basic unit just being protons, neutrons, and electrons. Those are the subatomic particles that make up an atom. The protons being positively charged, neutrons neutrally charged or no charge, and they live inside the nucleus. The electrons are outside the nucleus around the electron shell, and they have a negative charge.